everyone, welcome back to my vlog. I am Robin, or A Hobbit's Reading List, and this week we are going to be soaking up as much sun as possible before it gets cold again this weekend, and we are going to read a lot of short books. That's kind of my goal this week, so let's get to it. I think I mentioned it in my last week's vlog that I have a nonfiction book and I will be reading that on the days that I work, but on my days off I will focus on the other books on my TBR because the rest of them are short. Case in point, I just read This Winter by Alice Oseman, which is a novella. It's 93 pages. There is a bumblebee, and I know it won't hurt me, but it still scared me. But I forgot what I was saying. The bumblebee totally derailed my train of thought. So This Winter is a novella set in the Heartsong universe, and it is after Nick and Charlie get together. It's their first Christmas together, but it's also only a couple weeks after Charlie has returned from a psychiatric ward to get treatment for his eating disorder. So it's a very strange Christmas, and I really appreciated it because there was a perspective from all of the Spring siblings. So that's Charlie and his older sister Tori and his younger brother Oliver, who's not actually in the TV show, which I think is a bummer because Oliver is actually a lot of fun for a kid, and this is coming from someone who doesn't really have a lot of patience for children, but Oliver's just so happy, you know. But I pretty much, like I said, it's only 93 pages, so I read it in about 45 minutes. So I will probably have to go inside soon before I start burning, but you know, it's fine. I really liked it, unsurprisingly. I love Heartsong. I loved getting to see, I think Alice Oseman writes Charlie and his struggles so well, but I also like getting to see the sibling dynamic, and you know, the little bit of Nick and Charlie were together throughout I don't know, a third, maybe a fourth of this book, and of course they're just so adorable together. So I gave it 5 stars. It's my first 5-star of the year, and it's a fucking novella. So funny. But yeah, it was so cute, and I'm so glad I read it, and I might reread it, you know, more in the winter closer to the holidays because I think that is seasonally appropriate. But I'm glad to knock out a book, and I'm really looking forward to this week and focusing on those shorter books, because technically I'm behind on my goal for the year. Because I read Heartsong, I'm now only 2 behind, but I would like to get caught up. So that's about it. I'm gonna see what the universe, aka my spinning wheel, says I should do next. But maybe I'll come back out here with a different book and read that. Good morning. So I normally don't really film clips back-to-back days. However, last night I finished another book. So I finished 2 books in one day. That's what I'm claiming, even though one of them was a novella that was 93 pages. But still, since I finished Heartsong, I pretty much decided, I was like, okay, well, it got to be 7 o'clock. I wasn't really feeling productive anymore to do things on my to-do list. And so I decided I was going to read, and instead of reading a book from my TBR, I read one of the books that I bought on Saturday. I went ahead and picked up The Gentleman's Book of Vices, and I really liked it. I like how I went literally 3.5 months without a 5-star, and then in one day I get 2 of them. I really liked The Gentleman's Book of Vices. I thought both Charlie and Miles were very intriguing, and I could really understand where both of them were coming from. I really like that they both were willing to grow for the other person and for their relationship, but not willing to sacrifice their morality, I guess. Morality has a big part in this, as well as just the legality of of homosexuality. There's a lot of ease in this sentence, but so part of it is like Miles writes erotic queer literature and it's published, and while people don't, like that it, is out in the world and people are reading it, the only reason that's able to happen is because it doesn't have a happy ending, which is very common, or was very common, for any homosexual literature written, before the last 50 years or something, if that. That you could write about queer romance and queer sex as long as it ended typically in death, because then the argument could be made that it's not condoning homosexuality, it's actually showing how harmful homosexuality is, and that it's essentially confirming society's belief that if you are homosexual, you are committing a sin and you will be punished. And so that's the way that they get around it. So the books are very sexy, but they end horribly. Which I know was a very real thing. And so I appreciated the aspects of legitimate history that was woven into this story, that was very heartwarming and very sexy, although there weren't as many explicit sex scenes as I was wanting. I don't know why. Right? Because I expected there to be a crap ton, and there were 2 that were detailed start to end. The other one sort of faded to black, which okay, that's fine. I'm not reading it for that reason. It's just nice. So I had a good reading day yesterday. I did get a little bit of, you can't really see, it just looks tan, but it's a little bit of a sunburn, and it might rain today, but it's not right now, so I might go sit outside and do some work before I have meetings and stuff, because I'm working from home today. And today, when I don't have meetings, I will pick up Ethical Slut and try to read 3 chapters. So that's the plan. And then I'll try to do the same tomorrow, and then Thursday I'll try to read either what books do I have left? Either 8 Dates, Sandman, or the Jeeves short stories. I'll try to read those. So because I think I only have those books left for my TBR, which is awesome. So I might actually get caught up on my year reading goal. That would be nice. So anyway, I'm gonna go and get set up outside and enjoy the sunshine before it starts raining. So I realized that I hadn't filmed the clip in a minute. I mean, I filmed Tuesday, so it's not huge, but anyway. I have read 2 things. So I started listening to Heartsong yesterday. Yeah. And I'm about 3 hours in, because I went for a walk yesterday, so I listened to a little bit then as well. So I got more than I usually would. I'm really liking how it's starting, because I had thought that it would do like sort of what Ravensong did with like giving the protagonist, who is Robbie in this book, like the background information up until the plot of Wolf Song, essentially. Then like, you know, some interstitials, I guess, of like Robbie's point of view, and then the plot would take off. That's not how this is starting. I thought that it was, but there's a little bit of a plot twist where I'm at, and I think I'm like 17%, so like it's probably like 15% is when the plot twist happens, that I literally, like, as soon as I figured it out, I was like, oh. And I'm not gonna say what it is, because I really like how it played out. So now I'm just really curious. Like, I want to know more. So I will listen to more of it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm really interested to see, like, how that's going to develop, when the pack is going to be, like, more involved in the story. So yeah, so it's really interesting. I'm enjoying it. Other than that, I read about 3 chapters of Ethical Slut on Tuesday, and then 1 chapter yesterday. So, I mean, it's informative. Like, I don't know how to talk about, like, nonfiction. It's written well. It actually reads pretty easily. Like, I think if I really sat down and was like, okay, for today, I'm just gonna read this book, I would make a decent chunk in it without, like, falling asleep. But I like the plan that I have. Of course, I haven't read anything today, which is my day off, but that's because I've been running around like crazy. But it is well written. It's pretty easy read. The language is really easy to absorb. And so it's just interesting to learn about, like, the mind frame of, like, people who engage in consensual non-monogamy, and what that looks like, and the potential issues, and how to resolve that. So it's just a really interesting thing to read about, because I don't have that experience. So yeah, so it's pretty good. That's about it. Like I said, I haven't read today. I don't know that I will. Not because I don't want to, but just because, like, this morning I had a gynecologist appointment, and then I had to take 2 of my cats to the vet, and then I had personal training, and then I just had, like, a writing date with a friend, and then at 8, the gymnastics championship semifinal, session 2, which Oklahoma will be in. So I'll be watching that. So I just don't know if I will be reading. I might just be, like, hanging out. However, I do have a 3-day weekend this weekend, because I needed a break. So hopefully I'll be able to really, like, read, do some self-care, clean. I'm really looking forward to, like, spring cleaning before Passover starts, because that's kind of, like, when I try to do it, is like, okay, I'm gonna clean the entire house, you know, as part of my Passover tradition. I just haven't even started that yet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend a lot. Other than that, that's about it. So I'll show you clips of gymnastics. I am driving, well, I took Chris to get his car from the shop, and then I realized that I haven't filmed since Thursday. Thursday night, I had said that I, might not read that night, which was a lie. I probably went downstairs, I did my spinning wheel, because I had like 40 minutes before the semifinal started, and it picked read. So I started reading 8 Dates by E.M. Lindsey, and I really like it. I read half of the book just in those 40 minutes, and then, like, in between rotations. So it is about this guy named Ben. His brother sets him up on 8 dates one for every night of Hanukkah. And while the dates aren't the best, he does meet someone who is the bartender that is witnessing all these dates and who comes and saves him from pretty much all of them. And so Ben, while the dates are horrible, he's getting to know this bartender, Nova, better, and he really likes him. And so yeah, it's really good. I'm excited to continue reading it, but I have to go and meet Chris at home now. So I will talk more later about Heartsong. Is it just me, or do I look kind of tan? I should wear white more. I think that's what's happening. Like, I'm wearing a white tank top, and so my skin is actually like standing out. This is cool. I kind of look tan. I'm not at all. I'm super pale. Um, so I did a very quick update yesterday because I thought it'd be a good idea to talk in a parking lot at a car dealership while Chris was picking up his car, and then he very quickly texted me. He's like, all right, we can go home now. And I'm like, shit. So I talked about 8 dates. I have listened to more of Heartsong. I am about, I think I'm only like 40% in, and so much has happened that I can't really talk about. I think it's enough to say that I'm enjoying it. I'm very curious about where it's going. And I had hoped, because I've started spring cleaning, because I took the day off of work. That's why you're actually getting an update like on a Sunday morning. I took the day off work because I was burning out. I've been in, like, I think I may mention it like a little bit, but I've been in a depressive episode for like over a week. And usually when I start having intrusive thoughts that are not good for me, I'm like, okay, I need to step away. Because I don't really like my job. I don't really talk about it. But I'm not a fan. I went into the wrong field, and I only have myself and society to blame. Because I think it's wrong to make 18-year-olds choose what they're gonna do the rest of their life. And obviously, like, I'm working on changing that. Like, I'm going back to school and everything, but it's gonna be a couple more years, which is scary. So I took the day off, because I've been really wanting to like spring clean, and I haven't been able to. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take Sunday off. I'll have 3 days off in a row, and then hopefully that will help. And I think it is. I think I'm listening to like happy music. I did listen to Taylor Swift's new album, but I'm not listening to it while I clean because it is not cheery. It's good. It's not cheery. So I'm listening to the Queer Love playlist that Spotify made me. And I'm actually wearing my Pride shirt. It said Pride started with a riot. But I finished cleaning the sunroom. It looks beautiful. Mostly. We have like workout equipment that it's so awkwardly shaped, but there's no good place to put it. And Chris said that he would handle that. So I'm like, okay, cool. But everything else in there looks really nice. I was trying to remember how I got on spring cleaning. I had originally thought that I would listen to Heartsong while cleaning, but I am discovering, especially because like Chris is working today and tomorrow, so I'll be home alone. I didn't listen to it last night. I didn't even try because he was here. But when I started cleaning the sunroom last night, I'm like, oh, I'm actually thinking more than I anticipated, more about like where are things gonna go, what do I have to do, that sort of stuff. And so I'm not really listening to what I was listening to. So I'm not gonna listen to Heartsong because I don't think I would actually pay a lot of attention. And so that kind of sucks, but it's okay because it's actually, I'll still finish it before the end of the month. yeah, that's it. Because I don't want to talk about the plot because it'll give stuff away. So I'm enjoying it. I really want to see Robbie and Kelly, his mate. Like they've been interacting, but I want to see more of their relationship, and how that interacts. So, but yeah, that's the only thing. But I'm only 40% in, and it took like 65 or 70% of Ravensong for Gordo and Mark to like really become coupley. So that's fine. Yeah, that's I really I was like, oh, I need to update, and then I'm like, oh, I don't really have that much to talk about. So I'm gonna eat breakfast, and then I'm gonna keep cleaning because you can kind of see it, but the table is a little messy. I'm hoping I get to the dining room soon because it is a hot mess. So, okay. All right, we're just gonna hang out here. There's a cat where I usually stand, so you're seeing a different view of my dining room. I I feel like this week has been so long, and not necessarily in a bad way. Like, obviously, earlier in the week, I wasn't feeling the best. And I can't say I'm feeling like super better, but I do think having 3 days off like did help, even though I was cleaning for most of it and I like hurt my back. But I also hurt my neck like a couple hours ago, so I'm doing great. But I did finish reading another book, so that's number 3 this week, which is pretty good. I finished reading 8 Dates by E.M. Lindsey. E.M. Lindsey. I keep wanting to say their name wrong. But God, my back is really killing me. I really enjoyed it. I appreciated the commitment to the 8 dates, even though everyone knew by like date 5. It's like, okay, no, like Ben likes Nova and they should be together, but I appreciate sticking with the plot. But man, those dates were bad. But I think that just made it like that much more worth it when Ben and Nova got together. Like, it's like, okay, yes, this is what should happen. So that was really cool. I will probably reread it closer to Hanukkah, because it is meant to be read around Hanukkah. It was a little weird to be reading it, in April, but I did read it the week before Passover, and so not that those holidays are anything alike, except for the fact that they're both week long. Yeah, so that's about it. But I feel like it did get me more in like the mood for Passover. Strangely enough, I don't know. But I gave it 4 stars, so I did enjoy it. I will probably reread it later this year. Just especially because like I have it on Kindle, so it's just super easy to just pull up if I'm ever just like waiting around or doing something. But that's pretty much it for this week. I have to start next week's vlog because it's actually like 5 o'clock on Monday. But I also need to sit down because my back is really starting to hurt. I've done too much this weekend. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, all that good stuff. I see it, and I really appreciate everyone who pays any attention to my little channel. But I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.